Hey guys, it's George. I'm back from my vacation. I'm playing catch up and we're going to start with the Seoul Music Awards. But before we get into it, I just want to wish everyone who's celebrating a happy Lunar New Year. The Seoul Music Awards were held on the 19th of January and it's not the strongest red carpet. I've given one 10 out of 10. There's not bad looks, but it's just like average. Yeah, neutral. Do you know what I mean? Neutral. If you are a regular viewer, thank you so much. You know the drill. But if you are new here, hi, hello. Let me explain how this works. I've got all of the red carpet looks here on my laptop. We're going to go through, unpack the looks, dissect them, and then I'll be rating each look out of 10. 10 yellow hearts, some gold for award show season. And if you want to learn more about my fashion background, my fashion experience, I've left all of that information in the description box. Let's kick off the review with our trends section. I picked up on one trend at the Seoul Music Awards 2023, and that was interesting fabrics. We saw jacquards, monograms, pinstripes, cord, velvet, metallics. This was popular. We saw this trend on Big Naughty, CocaNButter, I-DLE, Kim Ho Joong, Yoo Sun-ho, Melomance, NCT Dream's Jennabi, and the members of T.A.N. Jumping into the main review, we're going to kick it off with our host, and then we're going to go through in alphabetical order. I didn't watch the live stream, I didn't watch the red carpet this time. I'm just going through in alphabetical order. Don't know why, it's going to be like a class register. So our hosts for the Seoul Music Awards 2023 were Minho, Mijoo, and Il-Joong. Very classic looks, very elegant looks from Mijoo. So let's go. Minho's look, this is very classic men's event wear. He's really leaning into that classic vibe. And I feel like hosts definitely tend to lean into that more classic, timeless look. I do really like this look, but I feel like the styling could have been amped up. We've got the velvet single-breasted one-button contrast peak lapel jacket, very classic men's event wear, and it's been styled with that contrast slim leg trouser, the point collar shirt, and the bow tie. I just wish we had like a few simple rings, a white pocket square to like add some contrast to the jacket, just to like style it up a little bit more. So Minho gets 7 yellow hearts. Mijoo's dress, this is such an elegant look. I really love that soft pink shade on her, and I really love the shape of the neckline. The way it folds back is very flattering, and then the cut of the dress is very slimline, and you can see that it comes to the perfect length at the floor. It's not too long, it's not bunching, it's perfectly fitted to her. The only thing I don't like about this look is the statement necklace. I feel like it really distracts from that really beautiful clean neckline, the clavicle, the shape of it, how it comes down into that V. It just doesn't go with the neckline of the dress. I think a statement earring would have worked so much better here, and then just keeping this area clean. Mijoo, 8 out of 10 yellow hearts. Kim Il-Joong, I think this is a more contemporary take on classic tailoring, especially compared to Minho's. That is as classic as it can get, whereas Kim Il-Joong's look, if we look at the silhouette of the jacket, we can see that it's slightly cropped, slightly shorter in length, and this is a double-breasted 8-button jacket. Looking at the button formation, I think it looks really bizarre because you have 6 buttons in this very tight triangle, and then the top 2 buttons sit very far apart, right at where the chest pocket is. So for me, it just looks bizarre. I think the 2 top buttons, it would have looked better if we removed those and we just had that rectangular formation. The look overall, it's been styled nicely with the wingtip collar shirt, the bow tie. Again, I wish there was a white pocket square. I feel like I'm on this like white pocket square rampage at the moment. I think it just adds a nice pop of contrast and it looks nice when it's being photographed. We do typically see a lot of dark colours on these red carpet events, so it's important to have that contrast because it photographs a lot nicer than like dark colour on dark colour on dark colour. Details can really get lost easily. Kim Il-Joong, this is 7 yellow hearts, and overall I'm going to give the host a 7.5. The guys are bringing Mijoo down. Starting off with our class register, we have Byeon, and I'm in two minds of this look. On one hand, I'm like, I really love it. It's got this low-key like Y2K vibe. I love the jeans, the white cowboy boots. But then on the other hand, I think the top half of the outfit, it comes down to the fit. I love the white shirt, the leather tie, but the blazer, I think it's too much of a formal fit to go with this look. Denim immediately takes it in a really casual direction, so I think the blazer would have looked better if it was a boxier fit and really lent into that oversized direction. But I like the vibe of it, I like the direction of the styling. I think it just really comes down to the fit for me, but overall I think it looks cute. I love this like fluffy curly hair as well. So Byeon gets 7 yellow hearts from me. Big Naughty is back in my good books after the 37th Golden Disc Awards. You guys know, I mean, if you watched it, that I really liked that look, but it was just too casual. It was inappropriate for the red carpet, and I felt like his stage look was more red carpet appropriate, whereas here, like, this just slaps. The texture, that really wide cord that looks like it's velvet, and then in combination with the graphic black and white, the white edging along the collar and the pearl, down the placket of the jacket, around the cuffs, around the edging of those flat pockets. It really jumps off of that texture and it photographs so beautifully. We can see that there's an emblem on the chest as well, and then he's got those straight cut trousers that hit the white sneaker right at the top. I like the styling of the white sneaker because it keeps it youthful, and I do like the jewelry. However, I think there are too many chains around the neck. The one that's closer to the neck, it really flatters the neckline, but where we have that chain coming down and it gets hidden underneath the break of the jacket, I just feel like it's not really needed. We could take it away and we'll still have like the full effect. The glasses as well, super cute. The only tweak I would make personally is just the jacket. I feel like if it was like 1 or 2 inches longer, the proportions would be perfect. But other than that, I love this look. This is 9 yellow hearts. Next up on our class register, we have Byung Woo-seok and Gong Sung-yon. Byung Woo-seok's look, it's very classic and clean, but everything about this is just spot on. From the fit of the suit, it's incredibly slim, and then the proportions of the double-breasted jacket and the trouser just hit him in all the right places. He looks incredibly tall anyway, but like they've just really hit the proportions perfectly, and you can see the cut of the trouser is just the perfect height for that Western style boot, and the boot has 2 different textures, so it's adding interest to the look, and also the style of boot just gives this classic suit that contemporary flair. I like the fact as well they've gone for a DB4. Again, it just adds like a more contemporary touch to the look. Byung Woo-seok, this is 8 yellow hearts. Gong Sung-yon, I'm not vibing with this dress. It's just straight away you can see that it's far too long. This dress should be like skimming her feet or like just touching the floor, but it looks like there's over 6 inches of fabric that's on the floor. It's bunching up, and the front of the dress should not be that long. How is she expected to walk in it without picking it up? It's dangerous. She could fall over, and that would also be a really embarrassing red carpet moment for her. So this should have been fitted and addressed prior to stepping out on the red carpet. That's just a poor job from her styling team. Sorry. The dress itself, I do like the colour on her. I do like that neckline, the same as on Mijoo, that fold back straight shape. And I wish we didn't have the necklace. It's more subtle than Mijoo's necklace, but still, it's not needed. Keep that clean. The ruched section around the waist, I don't understand it. I feel like when you see ruched dresses or dresses that feature some kind of ruched paneling, they're always, I mean, like 9 out of 10 times incredibly flattering. Whereas this ruching doesn't do anything. It's just ruched fabric that's been tied around the waist. It doesn't add anything. It doesn't do anything. I'm not vibing with this look. It is 5 yellow hearts from me. I am sorry. CocaNButter, I think overall this is cohesive and balanced, and there's a good use of matte and satin fabrics within the members. However, I think the looks are leaning a little plain, and the styling could have been amped up to make it more interesting. Gaga on the very left, I think her jumpsuit, it really would have benefited from some kind of belt or paneling at the waist just to add some definition, and overall it's just a bit plain. We have the necklace around the neck and then that embellishment just going across the bust, but apart from that there's no level of design to the jumpsuit itself. Bicky, second in from the left, is very simple and chic. However, the thing I dislike about it is the fact that we have that fabric collar that matches the dress around her neck, but then they've laid the gold chain underneath. For me, it should be one or the other because it doesn't add anything. It just looks too heavy in this section when it's meant to be like clean, chic, minimalistic. Zisun, second in from the right. I do like the jacquard fabric on the top of the dress. It adds interest and it's very subtle, but when you look at it, you can pick it up. And I do like the cutout detail and then the chain draping from the waist. I think it's a really flattering detail. And then Rihei on the right. I do like the look. However, I don't understand the asymmetric shoulder or the use of the feathers, just because it's not been used in any of the other members' looks. They all have these strapless moments or like a sweetheart neckline or a straight neckline, so it just stands out to me. I do really like Rihei's shoes, and you can see that Bicky is wearing a very similar style of shoe, the pointed toe, the crossover detail, but the shoes are different, so they're creating cohesion there. So there are elements I like, but elements I think can be improved. So this is 6 Yellow Hearts. I-DLE are up next on our class register of the Seoul Music Awards 2023. And I have to admit, this is probably my least favourite look that I've seen them in this end of year show season. They're just not coming together for me. That is the problem. I do like the fact that they're dressed in all black, especially as the members are currently all blonde, because you get that really strong contrast between the light hair and then the dark fabric. And I like Minnie and I like Soo-yeon's looks. Minnie's look, she's got that beautiful boned corset crop top, the nice sweep underneath, and then she's got those lowish rise wide trousers, but none of the other members are wearing those, so it's, you know, we're losing cohesion there. And then Soo-yeon, classic little black dress. I love the length of it, the proportions of it. That neckline shape is so beautiful on her, and I like the very light black necklace just sitting up top. It's not distracting from the neckline. It's a very classy, sophisticated look. Uki's look is giving me PTSD of that Y2K moment when everyone was wearing dresses over the top of bootcut jeans, and for me, that's taking the Y2K trend way too far. Dresses worn over the top of bootcut jeans is a moment in fashion history that just needs to be forgotten and left behind. I just don't, it's just not a great look. And then Shuha on the very right. It's an okay dress. We've got that asymmetric hemline, but there's no other asymmetric hemline or anything asymmetric going on in the other members, so there's just such a lack of cohesion. I know I can argue that Uki and Shuha both have those zip details down the center front, but they're not strong enough or like popping out of their outfit enough to like really marry that together and make it like a strong, cohesive feature. Yeon didn't attend the Seoul Music Awards. I believe there was a clash with a personal schedule, and I wonder if her look would have balanced it out, but still, like, with the 4 members, nothing is coming together, so I don't really think one member would have made a huge difference. I-DLE, this is 6 Yellow Hearts. Next up, we have IVE. Always a favourite discussion when it comes to red carpet fashion, and just at this point I want to know if they're actually styled separately. At least with this set of looks here, it looks like Liz Ray, Guyul and Lee So are styled by the same stylist. Wonyoung has her own, Yoo has her own. Individually, the looks are amazing. Don't get me wrong, individually each member's look is great, but we're still just having such a problem with cohesion, and there are small elements within their looks that do tie together and give us like a little hint of cohesion, but there are larger elements of these looks that actually disrupt the cohesion and push it apart. Let's talk about the elements that bring their looks together. We can see that Ray and Wonyoung have those white contrast collars on their looks. Ray and Lee So, their looks have a very similar tailored vibe and work beautifully together. And then Wonyoung and Kuyul's necklines are very similar, so they're marrying together nicely. And then if we look at IVE as a whole, we can see that there are platform heels and socks that have been used, so that's pulling the girls' looks together. But then for me, it's the fabric choices in Wonyoung's look, Yoo-jin's look, Lee So's look that really disrupt it. The velvet, the monogram silk, the pinstripe. Where has that been used throughout the other members? So it just really like stands out. Like I said with like my little IVE intro, if we take Wonyoung and Yoo-jin out of the picture and put Liz, Ray, Kuyul and Lee So together, it is cohesive. They look like they're attending the same event. They've been styled by the same stylist. But when we go back to Wonyoung and Yoo-jin, it just really stands out, and they're both fantastic looks. Wonyoung's dress, the silhouette of this dress is just unreal. I absolutely love it. That off the shoulder white contrast with the bow, the very slim silhouette, and then it poofs out into that voluminous like bell shape at the bottom. The richness of this velvet, it's stunning. But where is the silhouette? Where is that velvet being used anywhere else in the other members? And the grandeur of it is so much higher than the other members' looks. And it's the same for Ryujin in the Fendi monogram moment. The silk monogram, the leather of the boot, where is that tying into the other members? And again, it's a fantastic look. That cropped proportion of the jacket, the skirt hitting her right on the waist, the pleats. It is amazing, but where does it tie into the other members? So for me, that is the issue. This is 8 yellow hearts. Individually, fantastic looks, but we're still struggling so much with the cohesion. Let's move back to some menswear, and we've got Jannabi on the red carpet. I really like the fact that they're giving us this cool yet classic vibe with like a little bit of a contemporary flair. Kim Do-hyung is wearing a boxy single-breasted 3-button jacket with a notch lapel, which is where the lapel is the same width as your collar piece. And I like the fact that this look is a slightly different cut to what we usually see. We usually see a slimmer cut on the red carpet, so I like the fact that it's a bit more relaxed, and I do like the styling of the black shirt, the black tie. But for me, this is insanely picky. Like, you are actually gonna laugh at me for being so picky, but where the tie's been styled slightly loose around the neck and we have that gap between the collar and the tie, I just wish we'd open that top button so it just met and the styling of the collar matched the styling of the tie. I know, it's very picky. Choi Jung-hoon, this is like low-key sexy. This jacket has a really nice cut to it. The notch lapel, it's got the square quarters. The quarters are the bottom of the jacket where we're getting that right angle 90 degrees, and we can see that there are no visible fastening, so it just gives it this really clean finish. I like the fact as well the shirt's been styled fairly open. He's got that pendant, so it like brings your eye down, and then it's been styled with those wide cut trousers that sit right at his hips. So again, it's a more relaxed silhouette. It's quite classic, but it's giving off like this cool vibe. So Jannabi, this is 8 yellow hearts. Sticking to menswear, we've got Kang Daniel, just an absolute cutie. You guys know by now that I'm just like, get love heart eyes for Kang Daniel. This is such a classic vibe, and you guys know that I'm just like absolutely fucking frothing at the mouth to see him in like a true contemporary moment. And this look is nice, but we've seen him in better this red carpet season. The embellished collar at the Factory Music Awards. He gave us that beautiful jacquard 3-piece suit at the Asia Artists Awards, and then at the 2022 Mama, he gave us that black ribbon bow tie with the 3-piece suit. So there's always been a contemporary flair, whereas here at the Seoul Music Awards, there is no contemporary flair. The jacket is an SB1 with a shawl lapel, and looking at the close-up, we can see that there's that beautiful top stitch detailing. And yes, he's wearing the Dolce & Gabbana pins, but it doesn't push it in that contemporary direction. If this was like covered in brooches, it would push it in a more contemporary direction, but the brooches wouldn't look right with this cut of suit because it is that classic. And he's got the slim cut trouser, the dress shoe, it is finished nicely, but for me, I just really don't understand why idols keep wearing Dolce & Gabbana. Dolce & Gabbana as a brand have made racist remarks against Asian people. There was a very problematic ad campaign that they did. They've made loads of comments about like gay marriage, gay adoption. Like, they've come out with loads of problematic stuff. So me personally, I don't understand why we're seeing loads of idols wearing Dolce & Gabbana. It's probably the fact that they're not aware of these comments, but surely their stylists would know. So I just don't personally understand it. Like, I wouldn't want to wear a brand that has made comments about like gay adoption and gay marriage, saying that it shouldn't be allowed when the designers of Dolce & Gabbana are both gay men themselves. So, you know, yeah, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. That aside, 7 yellow hearts for Kang Daniel. I still just want to see him like push it in a more contemporary direction. Up next on our Seoul Music Awards 2023 register, we have Kara, and this was their stage look, and I really like it as a stage look. It is amazing. I don't think it's the most red carpet appropriate. However, I do really love that they're giving us that Y2K vibe with the denim. Like, straight away makes me think of the Britney and Justin moment. But it's a really great set of looks, and it's really balanced. The use of black throughout all of the members' looks, and then the use of the crystal as well. Like the crystal harness on Ji-young, and then you can see it around the neck of Seung Yoon's look. And then Gully, she has the crystal tassels hanging off the pockets on her jeans. Nicole has the crystals around all of the boning on that corset style top. And then you can see it just ever so slightly on Youngji's look, hanging out on the jacket. So I assume she's got an embellished skirt or dress underneath. If I'm going to be super picky, which I am, Youngji's look just stands out to me because all of the other members are wearing denim, but her look, the fabric, I feel like it's meant to imitate denim and give you like a different take on it, but just where it's a different texture to what everyone else is wearing, it does kind of stand alone. I don't know whether this is a leather or a coated fabric. It is beautiful, but it just stands alone compared to the other girls. My favourite look would have to be Gully, the black blazer, the mesh bodysuit, the marine serge bralette underneath, and then the wide cut really distressed jeans with the crystal tassels. It's just speaking to me. So Kara, this is 7 Yellow Hearts. Fantastic set of stage looks. Probably not the most red carpet appropriate though, so let me know what you think of that in the comments. Next up we have Kepler, and I'm neutral about this. There are elements that I like, elements that I dislike, and it's okay. I feel like I've had their mama look just ingrained in my head, and that's just kind of like the level I now expect from Kepler, and ever since the mama, they've not hit that for me. I do like the balance of black and white throughout the members' looks. It's been used really well, but for me, there are looks that don't make sense, and then there are looks that just kind of like fade into the background a bit. Cheon's look has to be my favourite. I do really love that cropped white and black jacket, the black edging, the embellishment, and then how it's been paired with that knife pleat mini skirts. Knife pleats are when the pleats run in all the same direction. I don't like the shoe, just gonna say that now, but I do like the updo with it. I think it's a very like classy, cute look. But then in comparison, there are members that have very plain looks, like I said, that fade into the background. Yuning Bahia's look, the little black dress with the sheer sleeves, the white edging going down the sides, it's just not that exciting. And then Yiso on the very right, the jacket, the skirt, there's just nothing exciting to it, so it like fades. But then on the flip side of that, there are looks like Shoutings where she's got the slogan on the front of the dress. There's no slogans anywhere else in the other members' look, so it doesn't make sense. And I didn't notice this until I looked really close, but there's this ruffled train on the back of her dress which doesn't even hit the floor. Like, if you're going to do a ruffled train, like, give me some drama, give me some volume, but this is just like a me ruffled train. You don't even notice it until you really look. It would have looked better if we just left it as a mini dress with the strong shoulder. Another one you know I'm going to pull out if you've been keeping up with my end of year show season reviews is Dayeon, the tutu skirt. I just have such a strong like for tutu skirts. I will give it to Kepler. This is probably the best styling of the tutu skirt that we've seen. The proportion of the tutu skirt in comparison to the white blouse on top, it's like perfect proportions. I like the shoe with it. I like the necklace. I just dislike tutu skirts, and if you are going to do a tutu skirt, you need to give another member in the lineup a tutu skirt to balance it out. How many times have I just said tutu skirt? Oh, horrified. And then I feel the same about Youngjun's look. Yes, she has the puffy sheer sleeves and then the little black dress, and then she has that pussy bow tie in the front, but I don't understand the feathers on the skirt because there are no feathers anywhere else. So it's just small things like that that really break the cohesion down, and it's just not the strongest look of Kepler's. Like, Kepler's mama look, like I said, has been ingrained in my brain, and I feel like that's the direction they just need to keep going in. That use of colour on the red carpet, it was so cohesive. The fabrics, the ruching, it was so amazing. this just doesn't live up to it. So for that reason, I'm going to give them 6 yellow hearts. Let me know what you think of this set of looks in the comments. Back to menswear, we have Kim Ho Joong, and this is very, very classic, and I do really like the contrast details. We've got this velvet peak lapel jacket, single-breasted. I assume it's one button, looking at how low the break of the jacket is, which is where the lapel folds back. Zooming in on the collar, you can see that there's this contrast fabric, which to me, I can't work out whether it's a jacquard fabric or it's like a velvet flocked fabric. It could be either. And then there's that contrast edging that goes around the edge of the collar, around the edge of the lapel, and it's the same detail on the pocket flaps. You'll also notice that on his right hand side, our left, he's got the ticket pocket, which is a smaller pocket that just sits above your main pocket. It's just a design detail. I think it's called a ticket pocket because it's like big enough to literally put like a ticket in it. You're not going to fit much in there these days. For me though, I feel like we could lose the ticket pocket and then also the waistcoat underneath. I feel like the styling of the open shirt collar, the contrast fabric, the contrast edging, it's enough detail for this look. And I also feel like by removing the waistcoat, it would open up the torso more and elongate it. So I'm going to give this look 7 yellow hearts. It is a fantastic classic look, and there is a lot of design to it in comparison to when you just see like a plain black tux jacket, which you've already seen on this red carpet. I won't name and shame. Kim Soo-won and Yoo Sun-ho stepped out on the red carpet together, and let's kick it off with Kim Soo-won. I have qualms with this dress. I have so many issues with this dress. But let's start off with the pros. Waist up, beautiful. The hair, the makeup, that simple earring. They've left the clavicle clean. It's this beautiful straight cut neckline, and then the use of the 2 different colours of tulle. It's been really balanced and it looks beautiful. It kind of gives like this nude illusion against her skin tone. But then when you get to the bottom half of the dress, this is where it's fucking problematic. To me, at least, I'm not saying this is how it is. This is my thoughts, it's not facts. It looks like there has been no thought behind how they've placed the 2 different colours of tulle in the skirt. You've got this section that's really heavy. You've got the section where it's the light colour. There's no balance. When you look at how balanced the colours are in the top half, around the bust, spot on. But when you look at how the colours have been used in the skirt, it's just thrown. And then when you look at the hem of the dress, it's all over the place. You've got this front section, the darker colour, which is this really awkward length. It either needs to be longer or it needs to be like a mid-calf length. But then you've got strips of fabric that come down longer. It's just all over the place and it just ends up looking unfinished. And then the shoe as well. The shoe, it's not a great shoe. I feel like this end of year show season with the reviews, I've really been on like a shoe thing where I'm like, this shoe is criminal. These shoes aren't criminal, I just think they don't go with the dress, and where that length is so awkward, your eye just literally goes to the shoe. Let me know what you think. I don't know. Am I being too harsh? I feel like it's just the skirt of the dress ruins it. It kills it. Kim Soo-won, 5 yellow hearts. Moving on to Yoo Sun-ho. I love this suit. It's low-key giving me a Saturday Night Fever vibe, and I'm not being shady with that, like I'm being... Hear me out. For me, it's because the cut of the jacket is very boxy, it's long line. We've got that peak lapel, and where it's been styled with that Cuban collar shirt underneath, giving us that flash of the chest, it just gives me a Saturday Night Fever kind of vibe, especially with the wide cut trouser and then that high shine boot. Do you see what I'm saying? But I love this black and gold flecked fabric. It really photographs it beautifully. It's an interesting fabric, and I do wish that we had a few gold accessories, just like a few simple gold rings and like a very light chain around the neck, just to really make that gold pop more. But other than that, love this. Yoo Sun-ho, 8 yellow hearts. Next on our SMA 23 register, we have Lapillus, and Lapillus have redeemed themselves for their Asia Artist Award 2022 catastrophe. That look was all over the place for me. I do understand that it was their stage look, but it was everything but the kitchen sink. The silhouettes were all over the place, the colours, there were so many accessories. Their stylist had not stepped back and edited, and that's what you should be able to do as a stylist. Step back and remove things. This is redeeming that catastrophe for me. It is cohesive straight away, but when you look at this set of looks, it's giving the same vibe as the Asia Artist Awards, but it's just more slick and considered. They're giving us the same boots, they're giving us the same hosiery vibe, and then the same accessories, but it's really been edited down so it's not like everything thrown at them. The set of looks, it definitely leans more stage than red carpet for me, but it's just such a huge improvement on their Asia Artist Awards. I love the vibe, and the fact that their stylist has edited and refined these looks, fantastic. So for me, this is 6.5 yellow hearts. They've over doubled their score from the Asia Artist Awards when I gave them a 3. Lee Sung-yoon, I'm in two minds about this look. I feel like if you took away all of the accessories, this look would be so plain. But then on the flip side of it, I'm like, I like the fact that that has been realized and we've put all of the accessories on. He's got the 2 statement earrings, he's got the chains worn underneath that open collar, he's got the black and gold studded belt, and then he's got a few statement rings, so it adds interest to the look. I guess it's fairly classic and it's just been amped up with accessories. It's nothing to like write home about, but it is a nice look. I just wish it had like something a bit more to it. I also think maybe it would have looked better if we had the white shirt, just because then we would have had that contrast. Like I said, black on black from photograph, very flat. So for that reason, it is 6.5 yellow hearts. Melomance have made me so happy with their looks from the Seoul Music Awards. Last time I saw them on a red carpet was the Melon Music Awards, and I did like their looks, but it was a very classic vibe, like true classic event wear, and it was styled in that direction as well. Whereas here we've got pretty classic cuts of tailoring, but the fabrics and the accessories give them that contemporary flair. Kim Min-suk is wearing a single-breasted peak lapel velvet jacket, and we can see that that peak lapel is a contrast fabric, and I believe this is an SB1 looking at where the break of the jacket is, but then it's been paired with that velvet trouser. Usually when it comes to classic event wear, a velvet blazer is paired with a contrast trouser, so straight away it makes it lean more contemporary, and then it's been finished with that white point collar shirt and then that Prada tie. We've seen these Prada ties everywhere within K-pop, not just recently, but like within the previous year. It is such a big trend and such a contemporary accessory, so it just really gives this classic cut of jacket, like that contemporary twist. I love it. Still, what I've said though, if you ever see me wearing this tie, because it's like $400 for a tie, I want you to cuss me out in the comments. Okay. And then Jong Dong-hwan on the right, he's wearing a very classic standard cut of men's suit. This is single-breasted 2-button with a notch lapel, like I said, where your lapel piece is the same width as your collar piece, but where it's been cut in this beautiful metallic glittery fabric, contemporary twist. And then the use of the Chelsea boot, and then he's got that branded tie. So the accessories really helped push it in a more contemporary direction, but yeah, it's a very classic cut of tailoring. It's just so well done. I can't work out what the brand is. If anyone knows in the comments, let me know. I tried to look through various pictures, but his hands are always in the way, and then it gets cut off because obviously it goes in the jacket, but let me know if you know. But yeah, this is 8.5 yellow hearts. Melomance have done such a fantastic job with these looks. NCT Dream are finally starting to give us a contemporary touch to their usually classic looks, and they look great. I think this is how NCT as a whole should be styled more often, just in my opinion. NCT are always styled in these very classic, more mature cuts of tailoring that someone like twice their age would typically wear. So to see a more modern, youthful take on their typical styling, you know I'm so happy with this. All of the members' jackets, apart from Chenle's, are slightly cropped, but all of the members are wearing very slim cuts. Each member has a different variation of jacket going on, but then they've all got the point collar shirts, and then obviously Renjun and Chenle in the bow ties, and then the other 3 members in ties. So again, variation is not matchy-matchy, which is like the typical vibe that we get with like 2 differences going on. Renjun's look is still very classic, single-breasted 2-button notch lapel, and it's been styled with that black waistcoat underneath. He's got the white pocket square, which adds that really nice bit of contrast, and then he's got the brooch, but the jacket is slightly more cropped than usual, so it just makes it look more contemporary and youthful. Jeno's jacket is very contemporary, but the styling of the look as a whole has been kept quite classic. There's this very subtle pinstripe to the fabric, and when we look at the actual cut of the jacket, the break sits quite high and it's single-breasted with 4 buttons. I really love this look. It's very slim cut, and the subtle pinstripe on the fabric picked up in that close-up shot, it looks great. Jaemin's jacket, like Renjun's, it is a very classic cut, single-breasted, 1-button peak lapel, but again, we can see that it's been cropped, so it gives it more of a youthful vibe. Jisung's jacket, it is a very classic cut of tailoring, double-breasted 6 buttons, but when we actually look at the button placement, it gives it that modern twist. When we look at a classic double-breasted 6-button jacket, you've got the 4 buttons that sit in that square formation, and then the top 2 buttons sit wider apart. Whereas when we look at the button formation here, it's sweeping inwards to the center front in this like slightly rounded shape. So just changing one feature of this jacket gives it a more modern take, and then the cut of it as well being slightly cropped. Just 2 small things can really change a piece of tailoring. Chenna's look is the one that probably reads the most classic to me because it's not cropped, it's just a very slim cut, and I do like the styling of it with that black waistcoat underneath, the gold buttons, it has that nice contrast, and where the other members' looks are like modern takes on classics, it doesn't stand out or look like too mature for him. This works really nicely as a lineup. NCT Dream, this is 7.5 yellow hearts. Let me know what you think of this more contemporary take on NCT's tailoring in the comments. Moving on to T.A.N, I'm not familiar with this group at all, but they're giving us that classic boy group formula. All of the members are in the same shoes, they're all in a matching pair of trousers that is a slim cut, but then on top they've got a different variation of jacket going on, a slightly different variation of styling. Straight away standing out to me is Hyunyop's jacket. It is a longer line length than the other members, and then it's this beautiful jacquard fabric. We can see that he's got that contrast satin peak lapel. For me though, what I don't like about this is that, and this applies to all of the members, is that they've been styled with these satin shirts, but then they've got that contrast peak satin lapel, and where you've got the shiny texture against the shiny texture, black on black, it then reads flat. Detail is lost, and I don't understand why you would put a satin shirt against a satin lapel. It doesn't make sense in my head, at least anyway. I think Hyunyop as well, in the longer line jacket, he would have looked better in a more cropped jacket because we would have got that silhouette that elongated the legs, and then we should have put this longer line jacket on one of the taller members. The proportions work on him, but I just think that cropped jacket silhouette with the slim cut trouser would have been more flattering on him. And then I believe to Hyunyop's left is Sun Hyuk, and he's also wearing a jacquard jacket. To me, it looks like it's a single-breasted 1-button with a peak lapel, and I like the fact that we've got 2 members in the jacquard fabrics. It pulls it together, but the other members' looks, it's just a bit plain. Each member, yes, has a different cut of jacket going on. They have a different tie or bow tie, but as I said, where it's the satin contrast lapels of the satin shirts and then like the tie or bow tie in black, it's just reading a bit plain and a bit flat. So this is 6 out of 10 yellow hearts. Following T.A.N on our Seoul Music Awards register, we have T.N, and I just want to start by sending well wishes to Junghyuk, my bias, as he's now on hiatus. My comments for T.N at the Seoul Music Awards are exactly the same as the Fact Music Awards. I feel like this group are being styled way too classic and way too mature for a group that have just debuted, and it's also the fact that the red carpet style isn't matching their group aesthetic, in my opinion at least. When you see this group on stage, they are incredibly powerful performers, they have really strong songs, and the styling matches that on stage. Their stage looks are really intricate and beautiful, lots of embellishment, nice textures, cool cuts. Here on the red carpet, they're being put in these very classic, bog standard tailored cuts, and the classic tailoring is being styled very mature. The cuts are very mature. If you're going to do classic tailoring, it should be more like The Boys, how we've just seen on NCT Dream, where there's just like a little contemporary flair to it. I just think this is such a missed opportunity because, as I said, T.N are a powerful group, powerful songs, they have a cool aesthetic in their music videos, in their stage looks, so this really classic vibe on the red carpet doesn't add up. I guess it's the same with how I feel about NCT, so I hope that we get to see more worthy red carpet looks with both of these groups. So TNX, this is 6 yellow hearts. Young is up next, and what I really like about Young is that he always gives us a contemporary flair to a classic look, and he's doing that here with the cut of this look. Looking at this very poor quality full length shot, I do apologise, it's the only one I could find. We've got the cropped peak lapel jacket, and it's a really nice silhouette on him because it gives us that elongation, and then it's been paired with those high-waisted, wide-cut trousers. The only thing for me though is the fact where it's black on black on black is photographing a bit flat. In this close-up shot here, you can see that there's this really nice top stitch detailing. To me, it looks like it is a contrast peak lapel, but then also where we're getting the shine from the shirt, it's the same problem as T.A.N for me, where the textures are too similar. If we look at his look from, I believe it was the Fact Music Awards, he had this beautiful navy suit on, and it had this contemporary flair to the cut of it where it wrapped ever so slightly. The fastenings were hidden, so it kept it really clean. And then he had the white shirt, the black bow tie, so we had that contrast, and it just photographs so much better. Young it is a great look, but the textures are just not working for me, so this is 7 yellow hearts. Our penultimate look on our Seoul Music Awards register, we have Yuna, and if you guys have been following these reviews, you know how happy this look is going to make me. So far this end of year show season, Yuna has been giving us this really strong tailored vibe. Every event that Yuna has attended, she's given us a blazer dress, a nice pair of heels. The accessories have been done really well. However, I've always had a problem with the proportions and the cuts of the tailoring. At the Golden Disc Awards, when she gave us that blue pinstripe moment, the break of the jacket I said was sat too high, and the fact that there was such a big jump between the break of the jacket and the buttons, it just looked bizarre. And then at SBS, again, I felt like the break of the jacket was sat too high, and then the buttons were sat maybe an inch or two above where her waist naturally sits, so it just looked off again. And I suggested that we needed a break that was slightly lower. It didn't mean that it was going to be like open like this. It just brings the line of the body down, and that's exactly what they've done here. The line of the break, it hits her at her waist, the button is placed at her waist, and you can just see straight away how much more flattering it is. And by doing that, they've not opened up the area here or made it too revealing. By making that lapel wide, it keeps her covered, and I like the fact that they've kept the neckline clean. It's all about the detail here, that contrast peak lapel in that beautiful baby pink. And then if you look at the cuff of the jacket, you can see that there are 4 buttons sat there, and you can see that the top one, the 4th one, is that matching pink to contrast. Such a well thought out detail. I like the fact that they've gone for a statement earring. It works really nicely with the look, but the thing that is just ruining this is the shoe. The shoe looks too big. It looks like there's a massive gap between the back of her foot and the back of the shoe in every single shot that I've seen, and you can see her foot is sliding through the front of the shoe, and that's just a no-no. Stylists, it's not hard to get shoes that fit your client's feet. They're going to be walking on a red carpet in shoes that don't fit. Again, dangerous, could fall, embarrassing moment. No. So, Yuna, this is 8 yellow hearts. Fantastic look. I wonder if, they heard what I said in previous videos, because just the lines are so much better on her. But yeah, I hope someone on your team has told the stylist off for the shoes. If not, I will. Finishing with Zico, I'm going to tell you straight now, this is my favourite look from the Seoul Music Awards, and probably one of my favourite menswear looks from the entire end of year show season. This look is unreal. Everything about this outfit slaps, from the oversized silhouette, the combination of the denim and the knitwear, but then how it's been styled. The knitwear, the cuffs coming down over the knuckles, the sleeves of the suit unbuttoned and folded back. So fucking good. The rings, the chains around the neck, and then how it's been finished off with those Western cowboy boots, the square toe, that croc effect leather. Dead. Love. The cut of the suit itself, it's fairly simple. It's very oversized, it's long line, and then I like the fact that they've hidden the fastenings, so it's all about the contrast between the suiting fabric and the denim. I love how the lapel folds back and it goes straight into that denim collar, and the use of denim is just enough of this look. It's just enough of an accent. It's not overbearing or like becoming like too much. And the combination of the knitwear, it just adds that pop of colour, but it is predominantly black with that accent of green. It works together so beautifully. And usually when we see contemporary menswear tailoring, it's more about the actual cut and silhouette of the tailoring, whereas here, this is about the combination of the fabrics. Zico, this is obviously a 10 out of 10, and my only 10 out of 10 for this video. I love this look. My favourite looks from the Seoul Music Awards, Zico, obviously, Big Naughty, Yuna, IVE, all great looks. I feel like I shouldn't be putting IVE in my favourite looks section just because of the cohesion, but individually, the looks are amazing. My least favourite looks, I would have to say T.A.N, just because the textural problems, and their looks could be great, it just needs a few small tweaks. TNX is just too classic for this group. And then I would also have to say Kim Soo-won, the skirt of that dress, just unforgivable. And then also Gong Sung-yon, fit problems, the ruche detail at the waist made no sense. Please let me know who your favourite and least favourites are in the comments. I'm sorry for uploading this late. I was just, taking a little break, but coming up, we are gonna have a catch up on Men's Fashion Week. We had idols in Milan and Paris, and then obviously I have a lot of music videos to catch up on, so they will be coming soon too. And then February is gonna be jam-packed, the Grammys, Fashion Month, we've got the Circle Chart Music Awards, busy, lots of content. So I'm glad I went on vacation. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much. You guys are real ones. Thank you so much for supporting me and watching all the way through. Please leave me 3 bunny emojis in the comments to celebrate Lunar New Year. But thank you so much for watching. A massive thank you to everyone who subscribed. You're honestly amazing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Bye-bye.